is the market and what are they gonna tell me? You gotta give the people what they want and what it is that they can resonate with. Afternoon, y'all. I am Rita Mavunda. I'm the CEO of Toshana Investment Africa, and this is our little series for all of y'all from the West who are trying to come move out here to the East, specifically to be on this amazingly lovely African continent, and specifically to be here in Kenya. So here we are. So we're going to move on to our second set of like setting up our business here in Kenya and how do we move forward and how do we do it. So we are going towards marketing. As somebody who was a lawyer in her past life, this was not something that we really had to do very much, right? It's kind of like, you don't have to go market saying, oh, hey, you guys, sold some drugs. Let's go and let's go and try to defend this or whatever, right? Now that I am a business owner here, marketing is super important and it's fun, but it ain't easy, okay? So it's really important to have it done and really being methodical with how you do it. So one of the first things you want to do is, now that you have your business name, now you want to start setting up your social media sites and setting up your websites. You want to really make sure that your domain name is available and that you have purchased that domain name. Once you've created and found that domain name, you got to create a website. Now, like I had said to you guys before, the one thing that's really nice with Nairobi is that labor and getting certain things done is much cheaper than having it done in the States. It's just a lot easier. One thing that is great about Nairobi is there's a lot of local talent. There are a lot of young people here who are really very talented in creating, maintaining, and really making these different types of social media websites and making different types of websites. Our website has been done by a company named Vention. They're great guys and they're super reasonable to create our website. You can definitely check us out, look at it, and give me your feedback. www.toshanainvestmentafrica.com. Check it out and see what we're doing. If you guys are interested, I'll definitely hook you up with him so he can create for you. So once you create your website, you want to be able to do your social media pages. In Kenya, the big social media platforms are still Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are your top three. TikTok, Snapchat, they're all coming up. But still here in Kenya overall, the big ones still are Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I've never really been heavy on LinkedIn, but because it's such a big thing here, we definitely started picking up on that and just making sure people are informed. And so I would suggest that you do the same. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just give the people what they want in the way in which they want it, right? You want to create your business emails. So Gmail is really easy and it's easy to set up and it's cheap and it's free and it gives you the drive. And so that's really good. So what we have is we actually have two sets of emails. We have one that is a Gmail email. And then we also have emails that are through our website. So you can always link up with us and meet us if you email us on info@toshanainvestmentafrica.com, or you can hit us up on toshanainvestmentafrica@gmail.com. I like having both sets because, generally, if you're doing super official business, you want to give them your email that is your business email. But just for stuff that's you got to get stuff done and you want things sent to you faster, I just use our Gmail account. And then obviously you want to be able to have your email signature, just designating who you are and what you are. So generally, I don't really ever tell people I'm a lawyer. It's never really been my thing where, I identify only as you meet some of those people where it's I'm a lawyer and it's the first thing you hear, right? Or it's and you're sitting here and it's you must be more than just that, right? So I never generally lead with that. However, Africa is a continent of titles. Titles mean something around here. Titles convey something around here. Giving titles is something that's very important. And so again, you got to give the people what they want and what it is that they can resonate with. So for us, specifically my title, specifically my signature when I sign off is always Rita Mavunda, CEO, /advocate founder of Toshana Investment Africa. In Kenya, lawyers are called advocates. And so here, stating that you are an advocate, it's like you walk on water. You can't do anything wrong. So if these guys keep thinking that lawyers don't do no wrong and walk on water, here I am. Watch me float and watch me walk. I'm an advocate founder. It means something. So make sure you write it out. Let them know. And especially if you one of these people where we worked long for these degrees and find you might not want to work on, might not want to still be doing it, but you still got all them degrees behind you. Write them. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. Okay? Let them know. Same, you want to be able to have business cards made up. Maybe you want to have banners made up. Maybe you have posters, you have flyers, you have flags, all of these different types of printed marketing materials that are available. You want to really be able to create what that looks like, right? You would want to make sure you have a logo for your products. And then you want to make sure that you have your products professionally photographed. So if you'll look on some of our sites, like our main bottle pictures, our TIA Gold, our TIA Active Shot, and our kids drink, you'll see that we have very professional photos that have been taken. And then we also add and intersperse a lot of photos just like being out, like just clickety click, just whatever, right? But you want to make sure that you're able to convey to your customers what that professional photograph looks like. And again, the beauty of being here is getting those types of work done. It's super cheap. Like it's super cheap, I mean, you can find guys who will create like full on, like just do a whole branded set for you for like $100. You know what I'm saying? $100. That is just, it's good. It's like, what can you buy in the States nowadays for $100? Nothing. You know what I mean? And so the nice thing is that although marketing can be super expensive, right? So for instance, getting on advertisements, TV, newspapers, those outlets can be quite expensive. Like you're talking about like, almost like $10,000, right? For like one print up in a newspaper to run for like 2 days. Doing TV sets and like meeting people, that thing sometimes could be like, you'll be paying some of these studios like $300, $500 just to be like, hi, here's my stuff, right? So marketing is expensive. You know that it's expensive, but the beauty of doing a lot of this work on this side of the world is it is a lot cheaper. So for instance, we make, when we send out our sales guys out on the field and we're doing cold calls, let's say we have them going directly into stores and directly into pharmacies, talking to people, we send them out with price sheets. And we get our price sheets. Each sheet is 10 cents, right? 10 cents to get the whole thing done. So you can afford to buy 100 of those, send them out with your employers. And the nice thing is, because it is cheap and you know that most people, once they get this stuff, they go home, they throw it away, toss it out. They won't probably even look at it, probably using it as a coaster under their coffee. It feels better on your budget, right? When it's only like 10 cents. Another big thing that you want to do, right, is making sure that the people know your product. I thought it would be a little bit easier to be able to get people on board, but again, I was looking at it from a Western point of view, not really allowing myself the time to understand it from being in Kenya and from a Kenyan point of view. When we first started our nutritional soda drinks, I just assumed people would just know, like, duh, vitamins, like, of course you need all your vitamins. How you gonna have shiny hair and beautiful skin if you over here just eating trash and not taking water and vitamins? I learned very quickly that most folks around here do not know about a lot of this stuff. And so for the first 2 years of our business, we spent a lot of time educating. A lot of time of educating. And that was something that we didn't plan for. It wasn't something that we were anticipating. But here we are, right? You got to learn. The one thing, that I have enjoyed about starting a business from scratch by myself, in a weird way, it's almost like I went back to school, but I went back to the street, like the school of life. And I have been learning a lot of this stuff as I've been going on. When I first moved here, I did take a business class for business owners that was run by the Kenyan Association of Manufacturers. And that was very helpful to me because it definitely gave me an understanding of how Kenyans do business, what is the customer mentality in Kenya, how do people accept new products. For us in Kenya, this is a market that is very resistant to change, and they are very resistant to new items, right? So like for those of us who live in like, you know, big cities where like something new is coming out every day, right? Like, so like I said, I came from New York City. And like every day there's something new, right? Every single day there's a new fusion this and a new ad this is gonna do this and just jump through this hoop of fire and you gonna come out looking, you know, like this, all this other stuff. So you're so used to seeing new stuff. And if you're someone like myself who loves new things, I mean, it's your best life, right? Like you're always gonna be like, ooh, good, let's go try this new place out. I've been wanting to go here. Kenyans generally are not like that. Kenyans are generally much more what they see in their face is what they want. They are not very open to new things. They're not very open to trying new things. They're not going to be the first in line for something that's new and different. Is it changing? Yeah, sure, because this continent is filled with nothing but kids. And most of these new kids who are coming up, these guys are all growing up on social media. And that social media, you know, one good thing with the social media, it does bring the whole world to your palms. So it does allow for you to be able to go in and out of different lives, different types of cultures and countries without ever leaving your house. So in that respect, it works. But as somebody who is starting a business in this country, it is something that I would caution you on and making sure that you are mindful of it, okay? You also would like to do, in terms of marketing, besides doing your social media marketing, besides doing your websites, using here WhatsApp is a very big platform to market. There are many, many WhatsApp groups that are on and around where you can market your products, and people will get access to you. And then another big thing here, especially in Nairobi, are a lot of these small local markets and little events. We have them set up. They're coming up all the time in Nairobi, all the time. I really don't think that there is a weekend out here where there is not somewhere where they're doing a farmer's market, an organic market, you know, a clothing market, a toy market. A lot of the high-end schools will do their own in-house markets where you can go. And what's nice about these little pockets throughout the city is you get access to different clientele. You get to expose your products in maybe in areas that you wouldn't traditionally do so. But what we have found is going to these markets and really being able to talk to your customers. So before, when we started this business, I didn't, you know, I've always heard the line like, the market will tell you, right? And you're like, but what is this market, right? Like, who is the market and what are they gonna tell me? And it's trippy because now that I've really gotten into it, the market will tell you. Like, the market's gonna tell you what they like. They're gonna tell you what they don't like. Market's gonna tell you what they wanna see. Market's gonna tell you, okay, I like this part of it, but I don't really like this part. And that information is crucial because that information allows for you to make those educated pivots, moves, and changing your things so that you can give your customer their best experience possible. So for example, with our product, like I said, we are a wellness company. And we have been, especially like during COVID, providing sodas with different nutrients just to be able to give people health in a different way that they're not used to, right? And what we found from the market, right, was they didn't like how small it was. They didn't like how it was for the price of what they were getting. They didn't like it. Now in the States, if you had like a little bottle of like a juice, like you'd be like, fine, you wouldn't think about it. But again, like I said, we learned that our market is very price sensitive. And so why am I telling you all of this? I'm telling you this because the market before when we started, when I didn't understand what it meant, now the market is all those people out there that you've been giving your products to. Where are you meeting them? How are you talking to them? How do you interact with them? How do you engage with them? All of those people, that's the market. And those guys are going to keep letting you know what they do and they don't like. I think it's really important as business owners that you go to these types of events when you can interact with your customers, because that's when you're gonna get the most honest feedback. That's when you're gonna really understand what they're looking for. And why would you sit here, be in business to give somebody something that they don't want? It don't even make no sense, right? So the next step in all of this, after we've done our planning, is to really come up with a proper marketing plan and coming up with a marketing budget, right? These are the costs that we were talking about in our other section about planning, because those costs in marketing, it's a lot. And you've got to take that into account, because they are continuous costs. Those are costs that rise, they grow. And if you don't have a marketing budget, how are the people gonna know what you're selling? They're not gonna know, right? So this is the end of this marketing section. If hit me up on DM, subscribe below. Let me know if there's anything else you want to ask. My name is Rita Mavunda. I'm out here living the life, building the dream, y'all. And I want to help you do the same thing. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.